Hi, this is Mrs. Vrobel. So you're going to be doing a home reaction that looks at the types of reactions and also looks at evidence for reactions and also balancing equations. Now, before you do this kind of experiment in your house, the first thing I want to do is you're going to be using flame. So you want to make sure that if you have long hair, you tie it back. The rest of the equipment is household items, so just be aware that if you get any acid on your fingers, you should make sure you wash your hands right away. So the materials you're going to need is a candle, and I recommend a votive candle. If you have a birthday candle, that's okay. It's a little harder to keep the birthday candle upright on the plate. I would recommend a ceramic plate, but if you have a plastic plate, go ahead and use it. Also, you have a butane lighter, so just be careful when you are using a butane lighter that when you light the candle, you're not lighting it over something, and that you keep your clothing away from the lighter as well as your hair. You're going to need baking soda. I'm assuming everybody has baking soda in their pantry. You need a spoon for that baking soda. It could be plastic, it doesn't have to be metal. You're going to be using vinegar. Now I recommend the white vinegar as opposed to the cider vinegar or the red wine vinegar, because it's easier to see the reaction take place when you use that. You're going to need a measuring cup, so make sure you have something like that ready to measure the volume. Salt. Now this salt, it could be table salt. It doesn't have to be kosher salt. I would recommend a 1/4 teaspoon just to keep track of how much you're adding. You're going to need a bowl. I would recommend a clear bowl because it's easier to see the reaction with the clear bowl. And then I would recommend either paper clips. Make sure they're not coated. You can use staples if you want to use staples. I would recommend steel or iron nails. Make sure that they're not galvanized. And also I recommend dirty pennies. Now make sure they're not shiny, because if they're shiny they will not work as well. So with the first reaction, you're going to be using a plate and you're going to put the candle on top of the plate and you're going to light the candle. Now, like I said, be careful when you light the candle. Keep any clothing or your hair away from it. And I want you to observe what is happening to the candle as you light it and as you light the butane lighter. You're going to write down your observations and include the reactants that are part of that. That is listed in the set of ingredients for your lab. When you're done watching the candle, you can blow it out. And then on the plate, you're going to take your spoonful of baking soda. You're going to put the baking soda onto your plate. And then you're going to pour a little bit of the vinegar on top of the baking soda. So you want to observe that reaction and you want to see what is taking place when you combine the baking soda with the vinegar. You want to look for evidence of that. So put that in your data table and make sure you write down the reactants for that reaction. That once again is listed in the materials section. That's reaction number 2. Now reaction number 3, you're going to use your small bowl and you're going to pour a 1/4 cup of vinegar into that small bowl. And then you're going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of salt into that small bowl. And make sure you stir it. You want to make sure that the salt dissolves. Now, this third reaction here, you're going to take your pennies and you're going to put them into the vinegar and salt mixture. And you want to wait 5 minutes in order to see a reaction. After you wait 5 minutes, you can take those pennies and put them back out onto a paper towel. And I would record in your data table the observations that you make with that reaction. And I would also list the chemical formulas for the materials that you used in experiment number 3. Now, don't pour this liquid down the sink yet because you're going to use it for another reaction. So this is for the 4th reaction. You're essentially going to take this liquid that the pennies were sitting in, and you're going to put in either a paper clip or some staples or some nails. So you're going to let them soak in this mixture for 5 minutes. And you should notice after those 5 minutes that when you look in the liquid that something is happening to either the paper clip or the staples or the nail. And I would look at, is there something that you could see on that paper clip or that staple or that nail? I would also see, is there something rising to the surface with this 4th experiment? Now, when you are done, I would make sure that you write down your observations. You can also list your reactants for that reaction. When you're done, please make sure you clean up. So any materials that were liquid can go down the sink. Make sure you clean the bowl and the plate for your parents. I think they would greatly appreciate that. You can throw out the paper clip or the staples or the nail, and then I would just decide to put the pennies somewhere. I don't know if you have a bank or something like that. They could be reused. All right, so if you have any questions, make sure you reach out to me and let me know what you're not sure about with this experiment. Good luck, have fun, look for your reactions. Take care.